Here?
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of May 1st, 2025,
I recommend approval, sir.
and I concur. Bid openings for Erie Lackawanna Trail repaving. Looks like there's 3 of them. The first one is from Reith Riley out of Gary, Indiana. They have the Form 96. The bid bond. The non-collusion affidavit. What was it? Can't remember what the other one was. And the bid proposal.
There we go.
And their bid is $1,081,454.40. Again, that's $1,081,454.40. Okay, moving on to site services out of Hammond, Indiana. I have the bid proposal. The Form 96. We haven't got to that yet. Non-collusion affidavit. And the bid bond. And their bid proposal is $997,250. Okay? Read it again? Yeah. $997,250 is for site services. Last but not least is Milestone Contractors LP out of Griffith, Indiana. We have the bid bond. We have the Form 96. Affidavit. Form 96. The non-collusion affidavit. Last one. Yeah, and the bid proposal. And so they have a base bid of $561,845. Again, that's a base bid of $561,845. And then they have an alternative number 1, which is $365,948.88. $365,948.88.
Good morning to the board.
Morning.
For the record, it did have a base bid and an alternate bid, so I'm not sure why the first two that were opened was the combined total, perhaps. I don't know for sure.
They were.
So my request to the board would be to refer this to the consultant. And Evan Laviolette is in the room in the back. There's Evan. With First Group Engineering. So review to the consultant for review, tabulation, and recommendation.
Okay.
So just so we're clear, the first one, from Site Services, their total was total. It's $997,000. The other one from
Reith Riley.
Riley, they had a bid, a base bid also. They just totaled it, which was 1 million. So I can total this one if we want to give the total. Okay, we're good? Okay.
No, I think this is fine. The intent was, and I should have checked with you this morning, the intent would be to read the base bid amount.
Okay.
The alternate amount would be if we decide we want to take it the next step.
Okay.
But I would ask that we refer to the consultant because they can make their recommendation based on that and discussions with engineering and the administration about funding availability.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All right, I recommend that we send this to the consultant for bid and tabulation.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. Okay, number 7, matters from other department heads or their representatives. Anybody? Okay, moving on to correspondence, letter A. Correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $9,595.76 of CIB funding to be allocated for replacement of an existing manhole found to be in poor condition on the state line road closures and corresponding change order number 3 submitted for approval.
So we had the sewer maintenance department go and check the state line road closures, their sewer work, and we found that one of the structures actually needed to be replaced that wasn't included in the original plan. It was in really poor condition, and so we asked the contractor to replace that structure at the request of the sewer maintenance department. And so the cost of that fix is the $95.76. And funding was approved Monday night by the Hammond Capital Improvement Board. So we'd ask for your approval of the change order and the funding allocation.
Okay,
Okay. I recommend the change order and the funding.
and I concur. Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $32,208.33 of CIB funding to be allocated for the median modification on Florida Avenue at Orchard Drive and corresponding recommendation to award the project to J&J Newell Concrete, who was the lowest responsive and responsible quoter in the amount of $32,208.33.
We received, so this is a project that we did using American Rescue Plan Act funds. It's the housing development on Florida Avenue with 11 new home lots, of which 10 are already constructed. We had complaints from the residents about the narrowness of the median and that there was the inability to park in front of the home and worse, difficulty in backing out of their driveway and contacting the median curb. So I worked with First Group. So this board solicited quotes for this project some time ago. We talked to the low quoter and found a cheaper way to do what we need to do. And that was, so we're basically cutting the curb down and concreting in behind the curb and creating an area that will allow for cars to drive over it and parking to happen in the front and residents there to back out properly. Okay. And the funding allocation was approved at the Capital Improvement Board on Monday night. Controller and Mayor have approved it, and so I'd ask for your approval of both the work to be completed by J.J. Newell and the funding allocation associated with it.
Okay, I recommend both.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $265,000 of CIB funding to be allocated for the 2025 annual resurfacing program, supplemental submitted for approval.
So we've narrowed down the projects that we're going to do for this year based upon the funding that was available both through the proposed wheel tax change or the approved wheel tax bond that's moving forward. So we did have a shortfall. because that was up to $1 million. The program for this year is 1.265, obviously. And so the funding allocation was approved by the Capital Improvement Board on Monday night, and the mayor and controller both approved the agreement, or the funding allocation, so I'd ask for your approval.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter D, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for the agreements with Northern Indiana Public Service Company to extend gas and electric service to the development for Memorial Park at no cost to the city, and authorizing the city engineer to electronically sign both agreements.
Pretty straightforward, asking you to allow me to sign on your behalf, extending service from NIPSCO to Memorial Park.
Okay,
I recommend approval.
and I concur.
Thank you.
Letter E, correspondence received from Nees Engineering Incorporated. We're recommending the Hammond City Fence Project be awarded to Fence Masters Incorporated, who is the lowest responsive and responsible quoter, in the amount of $58,000, and the funding allocation request form requesting $15,540 from the Mayor's Gaming Fund submitted for approval.
This is the second phase of the fencing project around the future Governor's Parkway extension. The mayor, the 5th and 6th district councilmen committed each $20,000 for funding initially. This quote puts, and the earlier quote puts us over that amount by about $15K. So the mayor's agreed to cover the shortfall. We would ask for your approval of both the quote and the funding allocation.
I recommend both.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter F, correspondence received from 1st District Councilman Mark Kalwinski requesting one-way street signs leaving alleys and entering Lincoln Avenue, and requesting additional one-way signs on Lincoln Avenue between Myrtle and Pearl Avenue. Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning. This should be easy. I'm not asking for money.
Good, we don't have any.
So, residents are requesting one-way signs leaving alleys and entering Lincoln Avenue. Lincoln Avenue is a one-way street from 119th to Pearl. So not all of Lincoln, but partially. There is one alley between Reese and Myrtle Avenue that should have a one-way sign directing motorists leaving the alley so they do not go in the wrong direction. So we don't need an alley one-way sign. We need it on the street so the drivers coming out of the alley know which way to go. Right now, they can go, there's no sign, so we have Garage Mahal coming in a couple weeks, and all those sales, all the things being sold are mostly through the alleys, so we get people from outside coming and driving. They won't know that that's one way.
Right.
Then residents are requesting additional one-way signs on Lincoln Avenue between Myrtle and Pearl Avenue, where there are two alleys that lead into Lincoln Avenue. Both approaches to Lincoln Avenue require one-way signs directing motorists to turn in the correct direction too. The signs are necessary so that motorists do not go the wrong way on Lincoln Avenue. I have included pictures of the alley locations with notations on the back of the pictures to help clarify where the sign should go. And I'm also available to meet city workers to show them the exact location if they can't find it.
Do you have any?
So there would be 3 signs I'm asking for. One on the one block where there's one alley outlet, and then 2, because there's 2 alleys on the next block that lead into Lincoln.
Gotcha.
So a total of 3 one-way signs directing people in the alleys to go in the right direction on Lincoln.
Okay. Dean, have you seen these pictures?
No, sir.
I don't know if you want to take a look at them real quick, or you just want us to forward it to you.
What the councilman is suggesting seems very reasonable. I'm not as familiar as he is with the location, nor have I, this is the first I'm hearing about the request. So if you could refer it to engineering, we'll make a recommendation as quickly as possible to accommodate the councilman's request.
Yeah, there are pictures, and the one, when you exit the alley, there's trees on the right and a garage on the left, so it would be very nice to have something tell me which direction I'm supposed to go, but we'll forward it to you for recommendation. We'll make a decision very quickly, Councilman.
I
so
appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here this
Thank you.
morning.
Okay, I recommend we send this to engineering.
And I concur. Letter G, correspondence received from Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of amusement device license for Just One More and Billy Bear Bar and Grill.
I recommend approval.
That was hard to say. And I concur. Letter H, correspondence received from New Zion Temple Church requesting to block off Tapper Street from the corner of Merrill Street to the corner of Morris Street on June 14th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for their outside community event. I have no objections.
All right, I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter I, correspondence received from Paul Gross, 847 Wilcox Street, requesting speed bumps on the block.
So I'll try to make this brief. Mr. Gross had sent an email apparently, or alleged to have sent an email on April 17th. My understanding is that the city does not have record of that email until this morning. He followed that up with another email, I want to say it was about a week ago. I responded to that email about the city's position about speed bumps. He, this morning, forwarded that April 17th email to the law department and to myself, appealing the city's position about speed bumps. I think that's why this is on the agenda this morning. I have sent a request to Hammond Police this morning to place the speed study equipment out on the 800 block of Wilcox to make some determination about what actually is occurring there. I will do my best to spend a little more time studying the condition, but it is the policy of the city to not install speed bumps. So at this point, if you could refer to engineering, we'll put a little statement together for this board and make a recommendation as soon as possible.
The police department did receive your email this morning, and we'll put that out right away for the speed study. We'll get that taken care of right away.
Very much appreciated.
Okay,
Could that be for 7 days?
absolutely.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay,
All right, I recommend we send this to engineering
police department.
and the
too.
police
Yeah.
department, sorry.
Okay. And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter J, correspondence received from Leon Wolick requesting permission for road closures on Sunday, June 1st, 2025, from 7:30 a.m. to noon for the annual triathlon with attached streets.
So this is an annual condition. I'm acting for Mr. Wolick to help him through the permitting process. This is all required as part of NDOT's permitting of the closure. What attached there is a concurrence form that we need the board to sign at the bottom under the city of Hammond, just, concurring that this is allowed and that the detour is Indianapolis Boulevard off of Calumet for the most part.
Okay.
We've been doing this for
Annual thing.
13, 14 years in a
Yes.
row, so, yeah, thank
I
you.
recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 9, matters from board members.
Yes, sir, Mr. President, I have one from the, I think this is the sanitary district. Wants to be included in the Franciscan Employees Assistance Program, and they're asking for us to sign this to get them in the program.
You aware of that?
This is-
Sharon brought it this morning.
Yeah.
Sharon Daniels.
Okay.
Okay. It's, you
Yeah.
want to review it? She said it's at no cost to the city, so,
They're going to pay for it over there, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
We can give you time to review it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Then I'll make a recommendation to accept it.
I concur.
Thank you. Anything else from board members?
No, sir.
Okay, nothing. Okay, new business. Letter A, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 6349-51 Jefferson Street, submitted for approval.
Good morning to the board. This is a rehab agreement that Mr. Luter, based upon Mr. Luter's inspection, it should be signed by the owner. I think the date, it should be at the top.
Next, July 10th.
So that's only about 60 days. Yeah, it seems short. Well, let's set a status right around that time, and then, of course, I would imagine we'll know whether or not they're moving along on their rehab, and we can set another one.
July 10th is one of the days possible.
Sure.
Do we want to go, that day, July 10th?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I recommend we set that for, status for July 10th, 2025.
And I concur. Letter B, contract for demolition services with JM Industrial Services for 1305 171st Street for $9,000, 1037 Ames for $10,200, 4208 Holman Avenue for $11,900, 6349 through 51 Jefferson Rear for $11,900, 1170 Sibley for $10,800, 5661 Soul for $18,300, 944 State Street for $12,200, and 5426 Wood Street, the garage, for $3,800 submitted for approval.
I believe this is a recommendation from Mr. Kearney as the lowest responsible and responsive bidders based on bids received. I request they be approved.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Just real quick on A, can we check that address? It should be 6349-51.
We
Yeah.
We did,
changed it,
okay.
we changed it, and
On the
I
agenda.
announced it,
Got
yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Letter C, notice to owners for affected property known as 600 177th Street and 626 177th Street submitted for signature.
This should be on the petition from the planning department, probably? Yeah,
Yes.
yes, request that it be approved as presented.
Okay.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter D, request for rental registration hearing submitted for approval.
Yeah, I recommend we set these for May 22nd and May 29th.
And I concur. Letter E, garage sale permit submitted for approval.
Way down there.
421. Yeah. Remember the 421 was? Is that the?
What it is?
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, they're good. They're
All
good.
right. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter F, disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department submitted for approval. Yeah. As long as we don't get that smiley face in here. Okay, we're good.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter G, right-of-way permits received from engineering submitted for approval.
So basically, we have 5 to consider. One is NIPSCO relocation around the Michigan Avenue Bridge over Kennedy Avenue. You may know the state is rebuilding that bridge. I believe that letting with INDOT happened yesterday, so it's probably a couple months out from that project starting. So NIPSCO has to do utility relocation to accommodate the bridge construction. The other 4 are simple residential gas services by NIPSCO being performed, so I'd ask for your approval.
Okay.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Do you just do that one? You're
That's all 5, right?
Okay,
The
gotcha.
one for
Okay.
NIPSCO.
And then the other 4 are for.
Well, they're all
residential.
NIPSCO, but
Yeah.
one is the bridge relocation, the utility relocation for the Michigan Bridge over Kennedy, and the other 4 are gas service installations, replacement, that sort of thing.
Thank you. Letter H, joint use maintenance agreement with INDOT regarding the bridge widening of Michigan over Kennedy Avenue submitted for approval.
Speaking of that bridge,
Yeah.
there, as part of that bridge, NERC and the city of Hammond are cooperating on widening of the bridge to accommodate a bike path on the north side of the bridge that's part of the Marquette Greenway. And so the the city is going to share the local match portion with the city of East Chicago because a portion of the bridge is in East Chicago. So we'll need to have a intergovernmental agreement between us and the city to pay for the match, the 20% match of the bridge widening. And that NERC has covered 80% of that fix. So this is an agreement between the state of Indiana, Department of Transportation, and the city of Hammond to agree to the joint use and maintenance of that bridge. I had reviewed it, and I had reviewed it with council some time ago. A concern I had was that if there's damage to the bridge, we can't fix, I mean, we don't have the capacity to fix that bridge, and so they've corrected that language in the joint use maintenance agreement, and so it's presented to you for approval today.
Yeah, there was two sections, section 3.1 and 3.2, that were of some concern that Dean and I discussed. It went down to INDOT Legal. They sent it back up recently, I think. And that's when I just saw it. I think it was this week, right, Dean?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And so it's consistent with my discussion with Dean. I think Dean's satisfied with it.
Yes, sir.
So I would request, as long as Dean's requesting, its approval as presented.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 11, old business, letter A, status on notice of violation for property located at 1620 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As before you, you have the signed and notarized deed restriction to go being recorded for the second floor and basement apartments. We just request the board's approval.
Okay.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, status for 1021 Moss.
Good morning to the board again. So 1021 Moss is under a rehab agreement that expires June 1st. We set it for today as an update. This is a property that had significant concern in the neighborhood. I know that some of the council members over that way were concerned because it was gutted by a fire. I'm just going to remind the board kind of what it looks like.
Okay.
We're kind of right at the last minute when we were about to demo it. It was sold to a woman. Her name is Pearl Shee. I met with Ms. Shee. I know that Mr. Luter had. She was very anxious to get the rehab going. The board, even though it was kind of lingering around for a little bit, it was only approved on March 6th, which is why we set it for status today. My understanding is the rehab is in, full construction mode. I'll let Mr. Luter update on that. And so if that's the case, we'd request another extension.
Yeah, so what ultimately happened is after he removed all the fire damage, gutted the main floor, found a lot of termite damage. That property ended up being torn down to its foundation and rebuilt from the ground up. It was also found to have what appeared to be like a second unit, maybe related living of some kind, and the new house is going to be built as a single-family home. So if we need to give him another rehab extension.
Yeah, we're pretty pleased with the result here because it was really close to getting knocked down. And I know that we had heard either through the mayor's office and through council, city council, that there was some complaints about the slowness of this. So I think the end result is going to be great for the neighborhood. I would request a 90-day extension. We'll prepare that, and if we could set a status for some time in August, that'd be great, mid-August.
August 14th, is that okay?
Sure.
You got that, Donnie?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, I recommend we set 1021 Moss for August 14th for status.
And I concur. Letter C, status for 5629 Calumet Avenue.
So this property, board may recall that there's a party wall. 5627 has actually been substantially demoed at this point. This was owned by, I don't know if Mr. Vargas is here.
No, I don't.
No, he's not. All right, so this was owned by a gentleman by the name of, I only have Mr. Vargas, Carlos Vargas from Calumet City, and he wanted to rehab the property 5629, which is also was on the demo list in kind of bad shape, at least when you go by. When he was here last time, we discovered that he was given a permit to do a roof. And so we gave him a little more time. It was March 7th, he was here last, and we were just about getting ready to start the demo of the building next to it. That's been substantially completed. Mr. Luter can give you an update as to where we're at this point.
Yeah, as far as 5627, it's completely down. They're just taking the last of the remnants of the bricks out. 5629, the roof has been finished. That was part of the slowdown of 5627. They couldn't get up there because of the lack of roof. So once they got that done, that sped up 27. The rear brick that was in disrepair of that building has been replaced. They just started the front brick this week, and they're supposed to get signage out, as was requested by City Engineer Button, about having the sidewalk partially closed. But I do believe that that one, another 60 to 90 days should be finished, because there's not a whole lot of work to be done inside.
The rehab agreement currently expired March 5th, just so the board's
Oh, okay.
aware. That's probably why we had him on March 7th here, and we gave him another 60 days. So we're here for an extension. I don't see an additional rehab agreement in those, so I think what we're going to do is, if Mr. Luter's requesting, what do you request?
Let's do a new rehab agreement, since we have one
Yeah.
that expired, do 90 days. That same 8/14 date.
8/14? Is that good enough? I recommend we set this for status for August 14th.
And I concur.
And I'll be going inside that property sometime next week. I'll get
Yeah,
updated
photos would be
pictures.
great, updated
Hopefully it'll be
photos.
done by 8/14.
Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter D, status for 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
So this is Ms. Arana. She's been here generally. I don't know.
Yeah.
Today, I don't see her. According to Mr. Luter, this property is continuing to be rehab. We request 60 or 90,
I think we did 60
60 days.
when I spoke with the contractor.
And so the
yesterday.
upside is, remember, Ms. Arana reported for a while that she's having significant problems with contractors.
Right.
That's been resolved. It's being rehabbed with one contractor now who has been reporting
Yes.
to Mr. Luter, and we're satisfied with the progress.
Perfect. July 17th or something, is that okay?
Sure, that's Fest, but I don't think that's a, we always have a meeting during Fest.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
July 17th,
Yep.
okay.
All right, I recommend we set this for status for July 17th.
And I concur. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.
Number 12, late,
You know what, there was another property that I had set for status that didn't see on the agenda, and I see the owner here, Mr. Garros. Was he here? Oh, there he is. Can we
Yeah,
add that
absolutely,
on?
yeah.
So this is 607 State.
607.
Oh, the one on the corner.
So, yeah, you may recall, like, originally.
Yep.
It's like this. So there's been significant progress on the outside.
Good morning.
Mr. Garros is a contractor that we're familiar with in the city. He's doing some work also in Jacob Square. The more recent photos that we showed, this is not even that recent. These are from December. They got rid of the graffiti, and if you go by there has been significant exterior work done. But we're still kind of in the in-between stage on, I think, what building department wants to see as a total complete rehab and what Mr. Garros wants to do there. So I guess I'd let him explain kind of the status and what his plans are.
Can you give us your full name again,
Yeah,
please?
Paul Garris.
Okay.
So we finished the outside with the stucco, the roof, and the bottom portion of the brickwork. So the outside is finished. We need to put in new garage doors on the garage and the front door. Other than that, the inside, then we will start working on the inside. The plan is to have a coffee shop at that location next to the library, so.
Do you have a date in mind when it'll be completed?
Complete with
Yes.
the opening of coffee shop? No, I do not.
Okay.
How about the garage doors and the front
The
door?
garage doors and the front door, that could be done in 2-3 weeks.
I mean, I don't mind, and Bill, do you need anything to do, do you have to do an inspection or anything inside? Okay, it's just nothing's done inside, right? Okay, that's like a plan even beyond this. So I have no problem with a 60 or 90 day, or even if, Bill? Yeah, because are you concerned about the garage doors or the front door right now? It's just a,
If that would finish off the exterior, that'd be a plus.
okay. I mean, to me, this is not something that's, imminent that we're worried about, but at the same time, we do like to keep monitoring, so I'm fine with 3 to 6 months, so.
I kind of like 3 months, if you guys don't mind, so we can make sure they're staying on project and stuff. So you want to use the August 14th
Sure.
date?
Sure.
August 14th?
Is that all right? sir?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All right, I recommend we set this for status for August 14th.
Okay, great, thank you.
And I
Thank you.
concur. Thank you,
you,
sir.
Thanks, Paul.
Okay, number 12, late rental registration hearings, letter A, 4006 Torrance.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First property we're here for is 4006 Torrance. Owner has been the same since 2013. They were in front of the Board of Public Works back in 2014 for rental registration appeal. We are currently only here for 2024's rental registration.
Okay, are they here? Ms. Campbell?
Ms. Campbell? No one is present.
Okay.
I recommend we add the late fees.
And I concur. Okay. Moving on to letter B, 5717 Bearing. Looks like there's 2 units.
Anybody here for 5717?
Castro, Alex or Clara Castro. Looks like she's coming up.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Castro. Can you give us your full name, please?
Sure. Clara Castro.
Okay.
Same owner since 22, has not missed a rental registration during the ownership period, here for 2025 for a 2-unit property.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yes, I had the virus. So I was going to come in on the 15th, but I couldn't drive. So I did come on the 16th because I spoke to a Jordan. And he said,
That's
just
it.
bring the paper. Thank you. I just brought the paper in, and that's when they advised me we were late, but it wasn't intentional because I'm usually on top of the stuff.
Okay, we're going to waive the late fee today because you haven't been late
Thank you.
before. Just keep in mind that we don't usually do
I
that a second
understand.
time, so just keep that in mind.
That's
okay?
fine. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you,
I recommend we waive the late fees.
and I concur. If
Thank
you'd
you.
like to stay when the meeting's over, Ms. Castro, you could take the paperwork downstairs and you could pay the $10.
I have it with me.
You have it, right? Okay,
Yes,
good.
I have it.
Thank
with
you.
me. I want to make sure it's done.
Okay,
Okay.
have a good day, thank
You
you.
too. Thank you.
I recommend we waive late fees.
And I concur. Moving on to letter C, 2122 Atchison at 1746 Lake and 1318 Stanton. Okay, okay.
For the property of 2122 Atchison, owned property since 2010, has not missed a rental registration. We are here for 2025 only. For 1746 Lake, owned the property since 2014, has not missed a rental registration. 25 is the rental that's required. For 1318 Stanton, same owner since 2014, hasn't missed a rental registration, only here for 2025.
Okay. Yeah,
You're good? Okay. I recommend we waive the late fees for all 3 addresses.
and I concur, and I read what you sent, sir, so that's.
have that back?
Yeah, you can
Yes,
have it
yes,
back,
yes.
yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after
after-
the meeting, they'll give you the form.
The-
You can write down, yep,
Yeah,
yeah,
do you have to-
it'll be quick for you.
We're almost done.
We're almost
so,
done. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I almost wish I didn't have to stick around, but I. Okay. Okay, moving on to letter D, 6404 Kennedy. Looks like there's 4 of them. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Can you give us your full name, please?
Enrique Irena IQUE Pardo, P-A-R-D-O. I represent Millennial One Auto Inc.
Okay. And what relationship do you have to the property, or the owner?
I'm the owner of the corporation, yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what happened then?
Well, on April 5th, my younger brother passed in California from a heart attack. On the 7th, I flew to California to attend the funeral of my brother's burial. I didn't get back to the 17th, and all the transaction kind of took me off for that particular date that I had to pay. So in that 2019, I've been paying every rental registration on time as well as the taxes on time. And I would like to ask the board, or this member of this board, if you can find in your heart to waive this time, and I'll make sure that I pay every time. It never happened before, so I appreciate that.
I got you.
Same owner since 2019, hasn't missed a rental registration, here for 2025 for 4-unit property.
Okay, so no objection.
No other issues, no objection.
Okay,
Okay. I recommend we waive the late fees.
and I concur. Sir, you can wait till after the meeting if you'd like, and you can pay the $20.
will.
Just make sure going forward, you have till April 15th.
I'll
okay?
promise.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to, where are we at? Letter,
5624?
yep. Letter E, 5624 Walter.
Anybody here for 5624 Walter?
Coleman, Pamela.
Okay,
On the property since 2019, hasn't missed a rental registration, here for 2025, but this is a 4-unit property.
I recommend that we apply the late fee for all 4 units.
and I concur. Okay. Letter F, 7532 Montana. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Board.
Can you give us your name, please?
Adrian Shabbat. I am the property manager.
Good morning. Can you tell us what happened?
Reader's Digest version of this, we dropped off 130 properties last year. When we got our receipt from Tracy, it doesn't list all the properties. So we emailed her asking for the additional properties because we got to bill all the owners. She gave us our list. This property was not on the list. Emailed asking what was up with that. She said she didn't get the registration. We copy the packet that we drop off, so I emailed that to her again, told her it was on page 22, asked what she wanted to do. Per the norm, we got no response after that. This is going through May and April. Escalated it along with additional properties to Nick in July. Lots of emails back and lots of emails to him. I looped Kelly in eventually on some of these emails. A couple of properties were dealt with. This one was not dealt with last year. Tried to register it again this year, denied again this year.
Okay.
The property owner has owned the property since April 29 of 21. This is the first time missing with this property. There are no other issues with this specific property. We are here for 2024's rental registration.
Yeah. All right, I recommend we waive the late fee.
And I concur.
Thank you.
If you'd like to stay to meetings at.
Yep.
Letter G, 7112 California Avenue. Good morning, ma'am. If you can come over here to this side. Thank you.
She asked me to translate for
Oh,
her.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Is that okay?
That's fine. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you can bring
Go ahead.
it. Thank you. Looks like she has
Yeah, she-
paid it, right?
well, no,
For
no,
20 oh, it's
that's
23, yeah.
Okay. See what Jordan says here.
What do you got for us, Jordan?
7112.
Property owner has owned the property since 3/9 of 19. They were previously in front of the board for 22's rental registration, as well as the homestead tax deduction form was never filled out, completed, and returned to us. This is a 1-unit property.
Okay, can you please ask her for us what was the issue with paying it in 24?
¿Cuál fue la razón que no pudiste pagar la renta este
I
día?
almost felt
A
like
tiempo.
losing him.
Ok, yo he estado pagando cada año a tiempo el ticket,
Sí.
solo que no.
I feel like we should.
Años.
I don't want to put that on him. Sir, can you ask her just to please have a seat? We're going to get somebody up here from the city. It's not fair for you.
No,
and
it's
we-
okay, I understand.
So we appreciate it, but we'll be right with her, okay?
Okay, ellos te van a traer a una persona de ellos para que te traduzca.
Yeah, we'll be right with you. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Un momento, yo te contesto.
And neither is Alma. Is Isabella here? That's the only other person that we refer to.
Okay. Okay, so for now, we're going to skip G.
Hold on.
We're going to move to letter H. 1615 through 17 Myrtle and 1631 Myrtle. Good morning. Could you give us your name, ma'am, and tell us what happened?
Jacqueline Legg,
Okay,
and I thought I paid it. I really did. I usually go here, pay my rental stickers, and then I go to the Hammond Police Department and pay for my alarm. They had they had records of me paying for the alarm last year, but when I came here, they said that I didn't pay it. I was 100% positive I paid it.
okay. Okay, go ahead, Jordan.
These are two-unit properties, both of them. Both properties are owned by different individuals. The 1615 through 17 is owned by Jacqueline Legg. The 1631 Myrtle is owned by a Gene Kovacic. Both properties are two-unit properties, but they are occupied by the individual owners. We are only here for, I believe it's 24.
Yes.
Yes.
And the property of 1615 through 17 Myrtle does need a partial homestead deduction removal form filled out.
Okay, so for both properties, it's only one unit for each
It is
property?
only one rental income property.
Okay. So ma'am, have you ever been told about the homestead exemption?
Yes.
The need to remove that?
To remove it?
Is
No.
that what you're saying, Jordan?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
As of right now, the entire homestead deduction is being claimed. I have a copy of our homestead form that is filled out. I would just need her to input the correct information that pertains to her, and then I can send it out to Lake County so that it can be recorded with the treasurer and assessor's office.
Okay, do you understand that, ma'am? Any problems with either property?
No issues.
Never been late before?
Nope.
Okay.
I recommend that we waive the late fee for both properties.
And I concur. Thank you for being here today, ma'am. Okay, we're going to go back to letter G, 7112 California.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Naomi.
Buenos días. Sí, le van a preguntar por qué usted estaba tarde. Is it for the late registration?
Yes.
Okay.
So can you please ask her for us what happened? Let me find the right one here. What? Yeah.
Ellos quieren saber por qué usted estaba tarde.
If you want, I could start over with the information that I have, just so that you guys have it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead. That might help us out.
Eugenia Alcala, owner since 3/9 of 19, was previously in front of the board in 22 for appeal. Homestead deduction needs to be filled out as it is a complete homestead for the property. It is a one-unit property we're only here for.
Okay, she gave us something, it looks like something from 23, so I'm not sure what
¿Usted le
this
dio
is
un papel
exactly.
de 2023?
Sí, le di, y yo nada más encontré dos pruebas de que ya pagué.
Naomi, can you please ask her if she understands that she needs to remove the homestead exemption?
Okay, ellos quieren saber que si usted entiende que tiene que quitar la deducción de lo de la casa.
¿Cómo la deducción?
She said she doesn't understand what that means. If you can.
Sorry,
Well,
I wasn't fully.
We asked her if she knew what it meant to remove the
homestead.
homestead exemption, and she doesn't understand what that means.
She wants to clarify better.
So the property is currently an income for rental.
Ok, la propiedad ahorita está por renta del todo lo del dinero que están pagando.
Which
Okay.
leads you to be exempt from claiming a homestead deduction.
Entonces eso la va a quitar de usted agarrar esta aplicación, que es como una ayuda.
Ok, yo quiero saber por qué yo compré la propiedad y desde que la compré yo he estado pagando cada año.
Okay, she,
No encuentro los otros recibos que tengo, no pude haber pagado solamente esos 2 años que tengo de prueba.
okay, so she bought the property and she's been paying it for the past few years, but these were the only 2 receipts that she has as far as proof that she's been paying.
Okay, we understand that, but so we can't get past the the homestead exemption. I want to make sure she understands that that has to be removed.
Right.
Okay, entonces lo que ellos...
She doesn't live there, right?
¿Usted vive ahí o no?
No, yo la compré para rentar.
No, she doesn't live there. It's for rental.
Right.
That's why it has to be removed. She has to live there in order to get that exemption.
It's an
Okay, and-
exemption on her taxes that she's taking, that you only get if you live in the home.
Ok, entonces eso lo de las taxas solamente se lo dan si usted vive ahí en la casa, pero como es por renta se la tienen que quitar.
No, está
So we
bien.
have to
She
have her
said
fill out
that's-
that form.
Lo de las-
Usted tiene que llenar esa forma.
Sí, pero entonces, ok, lo de las taxas yo entiendo.
She understands the taxes.
Pero lo de la renta, ¿cómo va a estar? O sea, porque cuando vine a pagar el mes pasado, me dijeron que no está abajo el papel donde yo la tengo registrada como para rentarla.
Okay, so
Entonces,
she's saying when she came to pay last month, they told her that there was a confusion about a payment. So that's why she's confused on her end as well, on
the-
what,
Her payment for the taxes or for the rental registration?
para el pago de la registración, para la renta o de las
Ajá,
taxas.
No, es para la renta.
It's for, para la renta de la
Ajá,
casa?
la renta de la casa no es taxas. Las taxas se están pagando.
Okay, the taxes are paid, pero que,
There's no question about the taxes.
Okay.
But part of the process today is she must fill out this homestead exemption form to have it removed. That's going to happen today.
okay, usted tiene que llenar la forma por seguro para que no le den esa ayuda por lo mismo de que usted tiene una casa por renta. Es lo único que están averiguando hoy.
Pero, ok, entonces,
How do we-
a mí me mandaron por lo de la...
Kevin, how
Porque
do
no
we
me
know?
dieron
I don't want to have her sign something she doesn't understand.
Right, I think what we need to do is,
¿Mande?
que
have her come up
no
to the law
pagué
department,
los
and we'll have
$5
Adrian
por
go
estarla
through it with her.
rentando.
Okay.
Entonces,
No, I'm
¿qué va a
not saying
pasar con
today.
eso? Porque yo la,
And then you can
pues, la
condition
quiero
it
seguir
upon-
rentando.
Maybe
Okay.
Monday
Ah,
or
si me
something?
permite, es que ellos están averiguando que hay una forma que está en inglés, entonces creo que van a solucionar algo para que usted pueda llenarla, porque de todos modos no va a entender en inglés, ¿verdad? Para llenar una
¿Puedo
forma.
llevar?
Naomi,
Sí, yes.
can you ask her if she's available Monday morning to come up to the law office so that Adrian can better explain the homestead exemption?
Ok, ellos están preguntando si usted puede venir el lunes para el Departamento de Leyes para que usted le expliquen bien de la forma. ¿Sí está disponible?
What time's good?
Yes.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? 9 o'clock Monday morning?
Como a las 9 de la mañana el lunes. Yeah, she can come.
Upstairs.
Upstairs,
Arriba en
third
el
floor.
tercer piso.
Ok, y lo de, para pagar lo de la renta, ¿qué tengo que hacer?
De la renta
¿De
de...
cada año?
Ajá.
¿Qué
So she's asking about the rental registration for every year.
Until we
How
can get
it-
through this, and until we can explain this form to her, just so until we can explain this form to you,
Hasta que ellos le expliquen la forma, ya después puede preguntar sobre
the
eso.
form will be first, and then we'll talk about the rental
Primero es
registration.
la forma y ya después ellos van a hablar de la registración del año. Pero tiene que venir el lunes a las 9 en el tercer piso.
Ok,
Okay, she'll be here and then she can have that explained to her and then we can talk about the rental registration
Then,
after.
then we'll make a decision
Yes.
based on the late fee.
Okay.
Y ya
Okay?
después
then for
ellos
next
van a
week.
hacer
Yeah.
una
Yeah.
decisión, ya que hablen con usted y le expliquen de la forma.
So
So,
Naomi,
so next week, so next Monday,
El siguiente
go to
lunes,
the law department, and then Thursday morning, come here.
okay, el siguiente lunes a las 9 en el tercer piso y ya el jueves usted regresa aquí mismo a las 9. She said 2 times. But it's okay.
unfortunately, yes.
Sí, desafortunadamente sí. Tiene que venir las 2 veces porque
You know
son dos
what?
diferentes
Can we,
cosas.
I'm sorry, but can we have her come in next Thursday at 8:30 maybe to speak to Adrian and then do it all in one day, or
Yeah.
is that okay?
Is that all right?
So she doesn't have to come twice?
That's fine.
Ok, están diciendo que mejor venga el jueves para hacer todo a la misma vez. Mejor el jueves a las 8:30 y ya aquí empieza a las 9. Pero no venga el lunes,
no, el lunes, el jueves aquí.
el jueves, ajá. So
So she
Thursday
can-
here at 8:30.
Yeah, upstairs is all,
Upstairs.
yeah.
Ok, a las 8:30 en el tercer piso y ya aquí a las 9 en la corte.
Okay.
Okay,
Keep
yeah,
her
sounds
from
good.
coming twice,
All right,
Thank you.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you,
Recommend
Naomi.
we set this for status
She
for,
can, Naomi, she
She
can have
wants
this
to get
back.
the
Yeah, she can have
paperwork?
this back, yep.
thank you.
Okay, have a good day. Thank
All
you.
right, I recommend we
buen
set
día.
these for status for,
El jueves a las 8:30.
May 15th.
en el tercer piso.
And I concur. Anything else, Jordan?
Nope.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Okay, moving on, the meeting's now open to the public. Anybody have anything they want to say?
Anybody?
Nobody? Okay.
Nobody? I recommend adjournment.
And I concur.